Well, hello and welcome to this Ingenta webinar. Ingenta produce various publishing platforms and publishing systems to help monetize content. In this webinar, our guest presenter is Megan Curtis from TrendMD, one of our integration partners. Here at Ingenta, we've been using TrendMD across almost all our publishers for several years, and Megan will discuss the merits of the service and explore case studies and stories from Ingenta Connect publishers. Megan is an account manager at TrendMD. She works directly with scholarly publishers to help them organize strategies and marketing campaigns to promote their content and increase discoverability among the right audiences. She has previously worked within academia in a primary research capacity before jumping on board with TrendMD. Megan undertook undergraduate studies in philosophy and post-undergraduate studies in biomedical ethics, both of which were completed at Memorial University of Newfoundland, where she is originally from. Today, she is based out of Melbourne, Australia, where she's working with publishers from around the globe. I will now pass you over to Megan. Thank you very much.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for taking some time out of your day to learn a little bit more about how TrendMD works. As Mike just mentioned, I'm an account manager at TrendMD, which basically means that if any of you decide to give TrendMD a try, there's a very good chance that we'll cross paths again. In the meantime, I guess I'll just dive right into the presentation. So I thought I'd start by speaking a little bit about what we do. At a basic level, TrendMD recommends editorial and sponsored content through a widget, which is installed across many of the world's most highly trafficked scholarly journals and websites. Some of the publishers we work with are listed on this slide, although our network is constantly growing and expanding, and this is just a small subsection of the clients that we work with. To put it simply, we help publishers monetize their content, drive higher engagement, and deliver their publications to the right audience. As an account manager, I work directly with the publishers and help try to determine what content they want to drive additional traffic to, what their goals are, and ultimately set up customized campaigns to meet those goals. In addition to benefiting academic publishers, the purpose of TrendMD is to help readers themselves discover scholarly content that they might like, but perhaps never knew existed. One of the biggest problems that publishers face is not anything unfamiliar. In fact, it's probably one of the most talked about issues in scholarly publishing, which is too much content. With over 2.5 million scholarly articles each year, more than 8,000 every day, to have your paper discovered and read, let alone cited, is enormously unlikely. It's therefore become impossible for scholars, like researchers or doctors, to have an ambient awareness of previous discoveries. Similarly, it's become impossible for people who create research articles to reach their target audience. As with anything else, there are two sides to the story. So on the one hand, researchers are looking for the best way to discover content that's useful to them. And on the other, publishers are struggling to promote discovery and usage of their content. TrendMD is trying to help both sides of this problem by accelerating the rate at which humanities knowledge advances by connecting the readers of scholarly content to the producers of that content. So since 2014, we've executed on our mission by building basically the world's largest and most advanced discovery platform. It's essentially a search engine in reverse, which delivers personalized recommendations to over 100 million scholarly readers every month on many of the world's most innovative and highly visited scholarly journals and websites. Thousands of leading scholarly publishers, marketers, and agencies utilize TrendMD's predictive technology to increase user engagement and distribute their content to engaged audiences across the web. TrendMD is currently being used on more than 4,500 websites by more than 300 publishers, some of whom have been listed on this slide. As the name might suggest, TrendMD began primarily with publishers in the medical and science field. However, in the last couple of years, we've significantly broadened our scope of content, and we continue to do so. Many publishers ask whether the campaigns for content outside of medicine and science perform well. And interestingly, we don't really see a difference in the click-through rates of different subjects. Our widget does an excellent job of finding the right audience for the content that's being promoted. Currently, approximately about 53% of the TrendMD network is dominated by medical and biological sciences, but the other 47% ranges pretty broadly in scope, and there's always room for change. So you may be wondering, how does it work? As I mentioned, we provide the article recommendations within the journals. So we partner with scholarly publishers, and we have them install our widget on their article page. This is an example of what it might look like. The installation of the widget itself is an extremely simple process. It consists of adding a couple of lines of JavaScript into the article template page. And after you install these 2 lines, the page will display the similar article links at the bottom or the side rail. From there, we're able to customize the look and feel of the widget. Some of the changes that we can easily make are changing the number of columns, as well as the number of links that appear, or even the cascading style sheets so that the widget can appear native to the site and doesn't look out of place. This illustration contains an example from BMJ, where our recommendation widget is appearing at the bottom of an article that the reader is viewing. However, the majority of the publishers, including the BMJ, have switched to the widget to appear on the side rail because we have found that to be a better click-through rate overall. So just to take a bit of a closer look, let's quickly just dive into what you see within the widget. We've created a smart recommendation system, which recommends a publisher's own related content to their readers and also increases the internal traffic circulation. The recommendations are broken into 2 sections. On the right-hand side, there are sponsored links, which point to articles on other external websites within the TrendMD network. On the left-hand side, there are links to the publisher's own content. We include both because the clicks that a publisher gets between their own articles are completely free and unlimited. However, by offering the external content as well, a publisher gains visibility from other journals in our network in return. Readers on their site click on a related article on the right side of the widget. They earn a half a credit toward gaining visitors from other publishers' sites. This means that for every 2 clicks on the right-hand side of the widget, they receive at least 1 new visitor in return. The reason why publishers choose to use TrendMD varies in scope, but they all revolve around a few common goals, some of which are growth, increased visibility, increased article downloads and conversions, as well as providing the reader with a positive experience, so they want to visit their site again in the future. Monthly, TrendMD delivers its participating publishers with more than 8 million clicks, and it delivers more than 100 million unique impressions. Another added bonus is that because TrendMD is installed directly on the article pages themselves, we have unrestricted access to academics and professionals that are already in the midst of research and discovery. This unique aspect allows us to surface content to the right users at the right time, which can increase visibility and ultimately citation of the research being promoted. In most cases, publishers who use TrendMD grow their readership about 8 to 10% in traffic lift over the course of a month. This is an increase in baseline traffic from other sources that are earned through credits from showing affiliate links. Some Ingenta publishers have since instituted paid plans, which has delivered more than 50% monthly traffic lift in some cases, and has had success in increasing sales of some published content as well. Aside from the benefits of external traffic and earning credits, the widget has also been shown to increase the number of article views per reader by 3 to 4%, just by recommending relevant content within their own journal or journals. In addition to the breadth of websites and journals that TrendMD is installed on, we also have a global presence. This slide shows the overall impressions that TrendMD receives divided by country. On the left-hand side of the slide, you'll see that the countries and corresponding impressions measured between January and February of 2018. As our network grows, so does our global reach. In the chart on the right-hand side of the slide, you can see that the number of impressions in each geographical region increased substantially by November and December of that same year. This slide depicts a graph that was sourced from the most recent version of Simon and Inger's research on how readers discover content in scholarly publications. The research shows that related articles remain the most popular feature of a publisher's website. Related suggestions, generated on the article page itself, has been shown to keep researchers engaged and more likely to move on to read additional articles. While the features readers find useful on a publisher's site will vary significantly across demographics, related articles and reference linking are generally the most useful features. This, of course, is great news to us. So you may be wondering why so many publishers would agree to install a widget that shows other publishers' content next to their own on their own site. This is a great question, and it's probably the one that I'm asked the most. So there are a couple of reasons why this makes sense. The first is that a user is much more likely to use and return to a site if it has features they find helpful and useful. As we've already shown in this presentation, readers have responded positively to having related articles appearing on the article page. This is in itself a positive effect because it keeps the reader engaged. Our network statistics show that a reader is much more likely to click on other articles from the same publisher than they are to click on external links. This is measured by comparing the number of internal clicks against the outgoing clicks that we measure every month. At a fundamental level, we predominantly promote content. The second reason is user clicks on an outside link. The new article will open in a new tab, keeping the browser tab with the original article open as well. Finally, the biggest reason is that publishers know that it's inevitable that readers will go on to read content from another source. At least by showing the widget, there's a greater chance that readers will go on to view more pages on their own site. Worst case scenario, if the reader does click on a link from an external source on their page, they're earning credits and gaining new readers in return. It's a reciprocal system that benefits everyone. So you may also be curious about what makes TrendMD different from other related articles. Recommendations are based on a process that's constantly changing and evolving in our backend. The widget is smart, and it learns through engagement. It learns where links are performing the best, as well as learning through user behavior what they may be most interested in reading. One of the processes used is collaborative filtering, which means that we change the articles being recommended based on what other users who are reading the same article went on to read next. You can think of it being similar to the way that Netflix or Amazon creates their recommendations. Imagine that you're on Amazon and you've just bought a toaster oven. Instead of recommending 5 other toaster ovens, Amazon recommends other related products based on what other similar people have purchased in the past. Generating related articles this way allows TrendMD, unlike other recommendation engines, to pick up on links between articles that may not be obvious through semantic relevance. An example of such a situation might be when someone reading something about smoking may want to go on to read about lung cancer or COPD. In addition to the results from our clients, which we review each and every day, we've also done several studies to test the performance of TrendMD in comparison with other types of related article solutions. One test that we did compared TrendMD related articles against PubMed related articles. We measured how many clicks each of these received and found that after the first 2 weeks, TrendMD outperformed PubMed exponentially. This can be explained by the smart features of the widget, collaborative filtering, and personalization. Since PubMed's recommendation system and links are determined by semantic relevance alone, their performance does not improve over time. However, TrendMD's recommendations do improve over time, since the widget gathers information about who is most likely to click on specific links, as well as where links have been specific and successful in the past. So as a reminder, I'd just like to let everyone know that installing the widget and benefiting from the internal circulation of traffic, as well as earning visitors, is completely free. In fact, many of our clients continue to use the free version of TrendMD, and there's no pressure to move to a paid plan. By using the free version, publishers will have their links shown on other publishers' sites when credits are earned. In addition to our free benefits that anyone can partake in, We also offer premium paid features. There are no commitments to testing a paid plan for any amount of time. When choosing to move to the paid model with TrendMD, we work with publishers one-on-one to determine strategies and goals. One of the most common reasons that publishers choose to move to a paid plan is to have incoming visitors sent to the most recent content, which serves to enhance engagement with content published within the impact factor window. Other reasons that are common include increasing usage of a new site or targeting an audience from a specific country or countries, highlighting a subsection of articles to draw attention to a specific topic, as well as boosting author submissions and subscription sales by promoting usage and awareness within the scholarly community. All of our paid plans include additional visitors being brought in from other publisher sites, above and beyond the ones that are earned through the widget. So the cost per click for some of these campaigns begins at $1, and this amount can increase in situations where we target a smaller group of readers, such as in country targeting, or it can decrease in some cases for a run of network campaign in some of the higher spending brackets. TrendMD also provides customized reporting on a monthly basis, which can give valuable insight into a publisher's content. Some of the reports we currently are able to offer include how many clicks a publisher is receiving, which articles are the most popular, what websites and journals sent the traffic to your pages, as well as what countries that traffic is coming from. So in the next few slides, I'd just like to do a quick sum up of a few basic things that I'd like everyone to come away from this webinar knowing 100% sure. The first of those is that we're able to customize the way that the widget appears on the site, so it will appear native to the site's layout. Our widget can appear very differently on sites throughout the network. For example, some sites use it purely as an external recommendation engine. Not only can the appearance of the widget itself be changed, but the recommendations that appear can be modified as well. So if there are unwanted links appearing from a third party, we can modify the settings in a matter of minutes to exclude content. Publishers always retain 100% complete control over what can appear in the widget on their site. The second important point to drive home is that it's very fast to install the widget. It consists of 2 lines of JavaScript that could be easily popped in within the span of about 10 minutes. The next point is that while the free plan is set up with default settings, which means that all content is promoted, the paid plan allows for full control over which of your content you'd like to promote in the widget. For example, if you switch to the paid plan, publishers choose to only promote content from 2016 to present, or over the last year. And the last point that I'd like to drive home is that the paid plan provides the ability to run campaigns, any number of campaigns. These campaigns can dedicate budgets to whatever subsection of content a publisher would like to highlight to new readers. We always recommend that new users in the network try out the free version first, just so that the widget can learn a bit about the content, figure out where it's performing the best. And then after a couple of months, you can consider moving to the paid plan instead. Some of the more popular ways that publishers use the availability of campaigns is listed on this slide. So you may want to send more traffic to one journal rather than another. This could happen in a circumstance where publishers have one established journal and one that might be newer. In some cases, we run campaigns on specific topics or even promote meetings or events. Some campaigns are one-off campaigns that last for a month. Some are quarterly, some are instances in which we set up promotional activities for a year. The ways to use TrendMD are extremely flexible. The last thing I want to briefly touch on is a Mendeley study that we published in the Journal of Scientometrics. As many of you may know, prior research has shown that the number of times an article has been saved on the online reference manager Mendeley has been correlated with future citations. In this study, I'd like to highlight 400 articles published in the Journal of Medical Internet Research were randomly selected to either the TrendMD arm or the control arm of the study. The number of times that articles in each group were saved to Mendeley was then tracked over the course of a 4-week period. The study found that the articles promoted with TrendMD were 77% more likely to be saved to Mendeley than those that were not promoted with TrendMD. This was the first randomized control trial to show how an online cross-publisher distribution channel, such as TrendMD, can enhance article saves on Mendeley. While replication and further study are needed, the data suggests that a cross-publisher article recommendations via TrendMD may enhance the citations of scholarly articles. So that concludes my short but hopefully clarifying introduction to TrendMD. Please feel free to ask any questions over the chat or reach out to me via email afterwards.
Thank you very much for doing that. There are obviously very clear benefits for publishers using TrendMD, and certainly as many of our Ingenta publishers who realise the benefits of it. Thank you very much for guiding us through those the TrendMD services. Ingenta will actually be running more free webinars in the coming months, so please be sure to check out the events page on our website. A recording of this webinar will actually be made available on the Ingenta YouTube channel, so please check that. If you have any questions with regards to our publishing and online discovery platforms or any of the other Ingenta products, please do contact us at info@ingenta.com. Well, thank you very much for that, Megan. That was a very good presentation. And yes, so if anyone has any further questions, please get in contact with us. But otherwise, we look forward to seeing you in the next webinar, which is going to take place next month. Thank you very much then.
Thanks, everyone.
Goodbye.